Alright, so right now we're working on a 2002 Chevy Suburban, doing a fill filter. You don't see that over there. I've already changed out the radiator. I have to install some new fog lights. I don't know if you guys can see this, completely shot there. The housing's still there, but the whole thing is just crap. Doing the fill filter, and this is a part of the extension line for the fill filter. This is actually a serious pain in the ass to get off, especially if you have four-wheel drive, and I have four-wheel drive. So I'm going to show you guys a little trick in order to get this crap off. Now, you probably will run into this problem even if you have two-wheel drive. This is my old filter. If you can't tell, it's really rusted. I actually just cut this nub off with the tube cutter, believe it or not. So let me show you why. So this is the new filter. Now it has a quick disconnect, and then it has a screwed on portion that goes to the main line that goes back here. This is what connects onto here. And this is essentially, you're gonna have to route this all jacked up. Okay, the problem is that with these older filters, even with some of the new ones, where they click on, there's not enough room to actually get a quick disconnect tool like this in between there. So what ends up happening is you try to get it in there, you can't get it under, and you get really frustrated, and then just say the hell with it. If you notice, this has a really big lip right here. This is actually what stops you from getting your quick disconnect tool on there. And if you end up having to buy those stupid little plastic ones, those damn things break so quick, and most of the times they don't work right. Even the OEM parts from like AutoZone and stuff like that, where they sell those packs of 6 or something, for fill filters, they tend not to work that well. And it's just because there's so much corrosion and buildup usually underneath them, because they're right underneath the vehicle, and there's so much dirt and stuff built up in here that you need a metal one to kind of pry it open. And then, you know, you can clean it up. I sprayed a little brake cleaner in there, so it's not too bad right now. And that's usually what you have to do. So what I ended up doing was I put the tube cutter. Let me see if I can show you guys here with one hand. So I took the tube cutter and I went ahead and put the wheel right here. If you can't tell, right there you can see that silver line. It's because it was riding on the wheel. You don't need it perfect, but it will go on there, it will turn, it will cut. And then you just take your quick disconnect tool, and on these Chevys, let me see if I can see a size here, and I'll go ahead and tell you guys. Apparently you just use the E side, because you see it says OEM tool. Again, another OEM product, but yeah, just use the E side and not the F side. Sorry if I can't get this into focus. It's just going to be the bigger side. I think it's like a 3/8 or something like that. And you're just going to use that to disconnect this. But let me show you why you're going to need this. Gotta get up under here. Now, oh, let me get some light. Oh, well, I guess, I don't know. I'm gonna turn on my light anyways, because this is a little ridiculous. Let me see here. Do we got the light? Well, it's not letting me do light. Anyways, so this is gonna be your fill filter housing. Let me see if I can grab that filter real quick. Okay, so this usually will be inside this. Let's go ahead and stick this stupid thing in here. Okay, this is gonna be a 5/8 fitting right here. This one's 5/8. This fitting on your fill filter. Oh shit. I think it's an 18 millimeter. You can use a 19. It's just to hold it in place. This is a 19 right here. You could use a 2-wrench for all this. I don't really see a need to. It wasn't really that stuck. But if it's really stuck, then yeah, you're gonna need a 2-wrench, because if not, you're gonna end up breaking the field line. So what I ended up doing is I broke this clasp. Usually I just break this whole thing. I usually don't just break one side. But if you notice, when it's together, this is how it's supposed to look. The problem is that there's so much rust and shit built up in this, you can't pull this out. So what you end up having to do is end up breaking this clasp loose just so you can move your fuel filter freely. And then here's also a proportioning valve for the fuel. Hold on one sec. There's a proportioning valve right here, and 2 fuel lines connect into here. You had the one that your feed from the fuel filter that was coming from your pump that goes into this block, and then it goes into another line that goes into the motor. Now this, if you can't see, let's see, you can see the other line still on there. I didn't take it off. There's another line on there. That's going to be the line you disconnect, the second line that's back there. Let me see. Yeah, that second line is what you're going to end up disconnecting. For people who have 4-wheel drives, this is kind of where it becomes a real pain in the ass. Okay, this brick, and then you have this stupid skid plate for the transfer case right here. This is going to be in your way. If you didn't have the transfer case here and it was just a 2-wheel drive vehicle, you can get in between here very easily and go ahead and use that 3/8 line quick disconnect and just disconnect the line there. You're going to go ahead and disconnect the line here with your 2 wrenches, and then you just pull this forward, and then you're just going to kind of string it through coming out. So you'll end up bringing the fuel filter out through here, and you'll move the fuel filter, or you'll move the fuel line with the filter as you're taking it out. That way it doesn't get hung up on anything, you don't get stuck. But when you got this right here, you're going to end up taking this off, and I believe this is a 20 or 21 millimeter nut. Technically you can use a 7/8, because these are the actual nuts that go on here. That hold that on there. So you can use the 7/8. Yeah, I just dropped that into something. You can use the 7/8 socket to get this off if it's not too rusted. If you tell mine were a little bit rusted, but not too horribly. And you can tell I took off a lot of rust earlier. So, yeah. So you just take this off. It comes off. And then what you can do is you go ahead and just put it to the side like that. And then you can take your line off. And then what you're going to want to do is you'll end up moving this back like that. And you'll put it right there so you can string the line back out with no problem. And then it's going to just be the same for putting it in. Once you get it in, you know, tighten everything up, turn the key to the on position, let the system pressurize, and you shouldn't have any problems. Now, if you guys have any questions, comments, it really doesn't take much to do this. I don't suggest taking the whole bracket off. It really doesn't do anything. There's fixed brake lines and stuff that go on that black bracket that holds the filter in place. That goes to the ABS pump, which is in that same area. You don't need to take all that off. You're going to end up having to break this stupid thing most of the time. Now, if you can move your fuel filter and actually just slide it out, by all means, do that. But a lot of the times, every vehicle I've worked on for like the, well, not every vehicle, but every Chevy, truck, or SUV that I've had to work on that has the same setup, they're usually seized up really bad. Like, you can't hit it with a hammer. It's plastic, it'll shatter, so you're better off just breaking the clip. Don't worry about breaking it. If a big chunk comes off of that holding thing, don't worry about it. The hard line is pretty much just going to keep it in place. It's more of to keep things from bouncing around, vibrating. Like, yes, you should get another one, but it's not life or death. It's not going to stop your vehicle from performing. So if you guys have any questions, comments, go ahead and just drop a like on this video. Subscribe if you're not subscribed. I'm trying to do more videos right now. I really do need to get a better microphone and sound equipment for this, just so you guys can actually hear me better when I'm talking about these things. If you have any questions, next up I'll be working on that Ford right there. It's a 91 F-150 with a 5.8. We're going to be doing timing, cam, all sorts of stuff. So I got a couple videos I need to upload on this. But if you guys have any questions, even if it doesn't pertain to like exactly what I'm doing on this fuel filter and stuff, just go ahead and ask me. I'm more than happy to give anybody advice. Now remember, this is at your own risk. This are DIY videos. I'm kind of just giving you advice, showing you how to do it. And if you guys, don't understand something or you want to know something, just go ahead and drop me a comment. I'm sorry if I don't get to it right away, but I'll try to respond as quick as possible. And this is getting way too long of a video. So anyways, appreciate it, you guys. Have a good one, and I'll get at you next